Hello, and welcome to Archvelder's Hacks with Archvelder and his amazing hacks. The Death Knights of Acheros, corruptions of humanity raised by the Lich King, with dark necromantic powers that desecrate the very fabric of reality itself. This is a comprehensive guide to exploits using the Death Knight class. Because this is a comprehensive guide, I will be mentioning some exploits I have covered in the past, on the assumption that many Death Knights who have never seen my videos before will watch it. However, there is new material here in this guide, which will surprise even the veteran exploiteer. Death Grip is an extraordinarily powerful weapon in the arsenal of the Death Knight, and for this reason there are severe limitations placed on the use of this ability. Obviously, Death Knights cannot use Death Grip in the way that Shaman used Thunderstorm to send players to their deaths over the edge of sheer drops. At least that's what the rules dictate and what's supposed to happen. I was never that keen on rules. There is a kind of full protection designed to stop Death Knights doing this, but there's a way around it. What you cannot do is use Death Grip to pull somebody into mid-air. The game code recognises any attempt to do this and ports the grip player to the nearest available ground. However, on the edge of many sheer drops are points where if you step, the player will stumble briefly before inevitably plummeting down into the area below, as I'm illustrating here. Something else to look for is literally walking on air. And this is a graphic glitch that's caused by a mismatch between the physical endpoint of the ground and its visual display. Anytime you are walking on air, a Death Grip, even slightly angled towards a drop, will work. Although it is possible to kill players outright using this technique, that really isn't the point. In addition to full damage, which varies considerably depending on the location, you are looking to displace individual players from groups, and large groups tend to be most effective in PvP. This location here in Eye of the Storm does only about 10% of the player's health in full damage, but it effectively locks the player out of the action for at least 10 to 15 seconds, and its proximity to the flag makes it impossible to take the flag. Additionally, you can drop players in water, again creating a stun or slow type effect, or if you want to finish the player you can try a location like this, which restricts the targeted player's mobility, because it's somewhat awkward to jump out of. The following exploit is an amazing glitch discovered by a guy called Austin Berkeley, which can create a ludicrously overpowered blood-stroke-unholy Death Knight hybrid. Austin discovered this when he disconnected and relogged during a random battleground, and found out that he'd somehow acquired an abomination minion despite being transferred into the blood specialization, which obviously does not have any pet summon abilities, being a tanking specialization. Austin asked me to see if I could reverse engineer exactly what he'd done, and it took me a long while. It took me about 10 hours of testing, but I finally discovered the following magic formula. First, go into Unholy Specialization, then queue for a random battleground as a damage dealer. Before you enter the battleground, change to Blood Specialization. Now enter the battleground, and you'll find you have been auto-changed to Unholy. Summon your ghoul or abomination. Now disconnect using Alt plus F4 and give it at least 2 minutes before you reconnect. When you reconnect, you should find that you are now in blood specialization and your ghoul or abomination will still be there. Naturally, as a tank with a powerful pet, you are extremely dangerous, and with the abomination's hook ability and the appropriate talent choice, it is possible to have 3 instant death grips, not to mention Gorfiend's Grasp, giving you an unprecedented amount of control. The ghoul will follow you out of the battleground and can be used in PvE also. Another glitch caused by specialization switching is the Twink Tank HP glitch, which has been active all the way through Legion. Simply queue as DPS and switch to tank specialization when actually in the battleground before the preparation buff expires. and your HP will go up by as much as 60% relative to what it should be. Now, crucially, the HP boost works only with non-artifact weapons, and at 110, the artifact weapon is way too valuable to give up, even for a huge HP boost. Though, what you can do is equip a normal weapon to gain the HP boost when doing something like flag carrying, and switch when and if it becomes necessary to engage the enemy directly, as flag carrying is often passive when your team is protecting you. However, this glitch really comes into its own at lower levels of play, as the HP boost has no disadvantages there and is positively game breaking. In the 70 to 80 bracket, it will boost your HP from around 50k to 80k, an enormous difference, making it one of the strongest twink exploits in Legion. Another similar exploit is based around the concept of the weapon switch glitch. Now, this is actually a weird glitch that affects all classes, but is disproportionately powerful in the hands of a Death Knight, especially in blood specialization, due to the relative importance of stamina and HP, and their synergy with the Death Knight's abilities. When you equip a non-artifact weapon, and then switch back to your artifact weapon, you will temporarily gain a significant boost to your health. And unlike with the tanking glitch I just mentioned, this HP boost isn't permanent. It will only last a few seconds. But this can be combined with effects like vampiric blood and talented anti-magic shell, abilities which raise your HP by a percentage, and that percentage is based on your maximum HP, which you've just glitched using the weapon switch glitch. Effectively, you've just snapshotted your HP at an artificially high level, greatly enhancing your survivability. The ability Wraith Walk is really the only mobility talent the Death Knight has, and is painfully brief for all that. As with all movement abilities, it can be extended for up to 8 seconds with the use of lag from a macro, natural server fluctuation, certain items, and a specialist program such as lag 7. If you leave it longer than 8 seconds, you'll find that you disconnect and you'll be returned to your initial location. The Death Knight has the power to exploit poor coding in NPC pathing. If you jump on any structure or other terrain where there is no direct path to the ground, and death grip an NPC to that point, and then jump off, the NPC will be trapped. In the open world, the NPC will stay there for a few seconds evading before resetting, and this can be somewhat useful in certain PvE situations, but it can be game breaking in PvP, where NPC pets or minions belonging to another player will be similarly trapped, but not reset until the player dismisses them, or moves right out of the immediate area, naturally resulting in a devastating drop in the enemy player's DPS. You can see an example of this here in Eye of the Storm, as I jump on this rocky outcrop and pull this elemental. Finally, this last exploit is a lot of fun in Strand of the Ancients. Using Path of Frost and their enhanced mounted speed, Death Knights can reach the shoreline when starting on the ship as much as 40 seconds before the battleground actually starts, allowing them to attack enemy players while under the effects of the preparation buff, making them temporarily invincible. Of course, you can't damage the enemy players either, but you can dot them and put them into combat and generally just distract them from the players on the invading ship behind you. This can also be done the other way around, at least when attacking the Horde ship, as the Death Knight can ride straight through the front of the ship, as I'll demonstrate here. So there's the video. If you liked it, why not subscribe? And if you really liked it, why not join my super secret Patreon feed, where you'll find a treasure trove of exploit secrets long before I publish them on YouTube, or that I can no longer discuss publicly on YouTube at all without getting them fixed. Thanks for watching. This has been Archfelder.